Hi there. My name's John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or a garage or something you have hanging around your house. I am filming this from my office, as you can tell with the Far Side cartoons in the back. I've been live streaming our worship from the beginning, and I thought, you know what? I need to film a Dollar Store children's sermon for this coming week, and I'm in my office, so I decided I'd film there just so we could see, I don't know, a feeling of continuity. I don't know. Anyway, this is for the 9th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're looking at the gospel lesson, and it is the feeding of the 5,000, the miracle of the loaves and the fishes, and what a wonderful story. And for me, I'm looking at this as a way of us showing compassion for the world. That is, as Jesus reaches up and he blesses the bread and he blesses the fish, and the disciples take the fish and they distribute it out amongst everyone, it's our call as people of God to share and distribute God's grace and God's love and God's mercy and God's justice. I hesitate on that one because I had a professor at LBI used to say, I pray for God's mercy, not for God's justice, because God's justice, if the wave rolls down, I'll be caught in it. So we pray for God's mercy. We could have an entire study around with a cup of coffee, and tackle that one. But back to the gospel lesson. We are called as people of God to help share God's compassion and God's mercy. So, what do we use for our item? Well, there's a couple of different springboards that I thought about, and it really depends on your setting, depends on what you want to tackle. One of the thoughts I had was your mask. Wearing your mask is a way of showing compassion and caring to your neighbor, and how we wear that and say, I'm thinking about you. Talked about masks a couple of times, but that might be a direction you take. The other is a Black Lives Matter sign, showing that as you stand in solidarity, as you hold up that sign, it's a way of you telling the world that people of color matter, and as compassion rolls out, that's another way. Another way is, for here, our Kroger store is the Fred Meyer's, but you might have, a local grocery store or Kroger's and have a gift card, and that we have in our office, because our office admin is here with doors locked and social distancing. We've purchased a good collection of Kroger gift cards for people if they need gas or if they need groceries. It's a way for us to get funds quickly to someone. And that's a way that I view as a way of showing compassion and grace, and using what people have given, because people have given a special offering for my discretionary fund, so we get that and we can then hand out those cards. But so we've got that, and then there's the ever popular hot dish, which might not be really in the setting that we are in now, but when we know someone who's in need, there are different DoorDash and Grubhub and different ways that we can reach out and say, I'm thinking about you. I'm showing my compassion. I'm showing God's compassion and what I'm compelled to do. And then the other way is the old-fashioned, and I pick up a cell phone. The old-fashioned, it's a phone call, is to make a phone call, call up and say, you know what, you were on my mind, I was thinking about you. So maybe in this, all of these springboards leads me then to, as we talk about sharing compassion with our neighbors and with those people that gathered here as Jesus breaks bread and blesses the fish, we might ask our kids, what are the ways that you can think about showing love? And using, going back to maybe the godly play question, I wonder what it might look like if Jesus asked me to share the love of Jesus with my neighbor, what might that look like? Can you think about ways that you might show love to your parents, show love to your neighbors, show love to your siblings, your brothers, your sisters? What are ways that you might show love? And so maybe given an example of ways that you have done that, and then in the springboard for the kids, ask them that question, to have them, and say, and if you're still in the setting where you're worshiping live stream like we are, or I'm recording my children's sermons, ask them to send you a photo of them sharing love and sharing compassion, or a way as they go about their day. They might take a picture of something that reminds them of God's love and the ways that we share that. All right, so there are many different springboards on this, many different ways depending on the setting and what you want to take on, but all of these are lifting up the blessing and the compassion and the grace that gets shared in the feeding of the 5,000. So I hope something here can be a springboard for you for your own children's sermon. As always, thank you so much for stopping and watching, and I love the partnership of this ministry that we have with one another. Know that you're in my prayers. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next week. Peace.